Don't quit, because quitters are more filled with regret than those who persevere. Listen to what Jesus said about this. Luke chapter 14, beginning at verse number 28, but don't begin until you count the cost. For who would begin construction of a building without first calculating the cost to see if there is enough money to finish it? Otherwise, you might complete only the foundation before running out of money. And then everyone would laugh at you. They would say, there's the person who started that building and couldn't afford to finish it. Now, here in this parable, the individual wasn't able to finish the project because they didn't properly plan for it. And so they were forced to quit, but nonetheless, they ceased working for the end goal. When you quit, you are filled with regret. Listen, if you just continue from this point on, you're going to have to struggle anyway. I'll tell you how it's going to be. You feel like quitting? You feel like giving up? You feel like you're hanging on by a thread spiritually? Like your life doesn't count, like it doesn't matter? Maybe tempted to go back into the ways of the world? Well, I want you to think about this. The time will pass anyway. The struggle, the trial, probably not going anywhere. So if you quit, if you give up, you're going to probably still have to go through that trial. You're probably still going to have the same exact circumstance. The suffering will still be there. However, when you get to the end of that, you'll say to yourself, the time passed anyway. I felt pain anyway. It was difficult anyway. But I quit. Listen, you're going to have to choose which path you want to take, and both paths have their difficulties. The path of disobedience, sure, it has what some would call pros. People consider the pleasure of sin to be a pro. People consider the pride of life to be a pro, and so forth. And of course, there are things that make that path alluring, enticing to human nature. But you walk that path, and it's a path of destruction, and it will be a difficult road. Now, you follow the way of Christ, and you continue on that path. That too will be a difficult road. But listen, both paths are difficult. And if you quit now, and you turn from the things of God, you go back into the world, or you take the momentum off of your spiritual life. You back up and say, well, maybe I won't do as much for God, or maybe I won't be as involved, or maybe I won't be as passionate. Maybe just I'll tone it down a little. You do that, you're going to still have to walk a difficult path. The time will pass anyway. And 10 years from now, you'll be looking back. 5 years from now, you'll be looking back. 12 months from now, you'll be looking back and asking, I wonder what would have happened if I just stuck it out. I wonder what would have happened if I didn't quit. I bind every lie of the enemy in the mighty name of Jesus. You may be saying that to yourself, that you want to quit. That's a lie of the enemy. Listen, stick with this, because when you persevere and you look back, you're going to look back and you're going to say, the time passed anyway. The pain was there anyway. And I'm so glad I didn't quit.